I'm Lynn Henderson, I'm the PCS Scottish Secretary. Welcome to Ayr Racecourse and welcome to the Scottish TUC Congress. Our delegation is here taking part in debates about jobs, pay, pensions, part of the STUC There Is a Better Way campaign, and making sure that we link the Scottish TUC's agenda very, very closely to the PCS alternative against the cuts.
Hi, I'm Derek Thompson. I'm the chair of the PCS Scotland Committee, and we're at the STUC in Ayr today. And I think it's absolutely vital that we link up with our trade unions in Scotland. The cuts we're facing across the UK are also very relevant in Scotland. We're losing jobs. There's going to be a pay freeze for most of the civil service. So today is absolutely vital, and tomorrow we're going to be debating most of the bigger issues. So it's vital that we make an interjection.
Hi, I'm Mark Sawatka, the General Secretary of PCS, and I'm also at the Scottish TUC, where PCS is leading the argument that we now need to move from marching for the alternative to being prepared to strike for the alternative. We're trying to convince our fellow delegates in Scotland that this part of the country, like the rest of the UK, will be devastated if the coalition government get away with their cuts. People will lose their jobs, they will lose their services, they will lose their pensions. Already this week we've had members on strike in the DWP taking strike action to give better services to the public. That's an inspirational example to all of us, and I hope we can leave Scotland, all of us committed to ensure our campaign to defend our members and services is joined by as many people as possible to force the government to change direction.
Good morning, I'm Joy Dunn. I'm a member of PCS and I'm chairing this year's STUC conference, the 114th conference, which has been described as one of the most important conferences this year. In fact, the General Secretary called it the Fight Back Conference. I'm looking forward this week to interventions by PCS members who will be defending members' rights in terms of the cuts that members are facing every day in government departments across the country, but not just their jobs, but the services that they provide from cradle to grave up and down the country.
One of the first tasks of that economic cabinet will be to develop an industrial strategy which is manufacturing.
First of all, there is an alternative. We have to be quite clear that there is an alternative based on investment for growth and collecting the tax that is avoided by the rich people in this country to the tune of £123 billion a year. We need to make it clear that we've been in a worse position than this financially. In fact, we're in a worse position than this in every single year between 1918 and 1973, when our debt was over twice as big as it is now, yet we built schools, hospitals, the NHS and the welfare state.
But let me be clear, there are no strings attached. We will not negotiate downwards or impose pay settlements on cuts in hours, terms, conditions and our pensions. And there are no backroom methods to taking the money out of hard-earned wages from the pockets of our members, and we will not exchange job protection for unacceptable and vindictive workforce flexibility.
I'm very pleased to report that 95% of our workforce were out on strike duty today, and we recruited hundreds of new members on the picket lines, and in some of the newer sites and some of the smaller sites, it's the strongest strike action we've ever delivered. I think that's testament to the work that PCS has done.
I'm lucky enough to be here in this glorious weather at the Scottish Trade Union Congress in Ayr. And I've been reminded, I think, by a lot of the speakers today how extremely important it is that we continue to organise effectively, and particularly that we recruit members in areas where it's difficult to recruit young members. We need to target young members. We need to make sure that we reflect every kind of aspect of our union in terms of our diversity, but also that we get into areas like the contact centres on the back of a very, very successful DWP strike action, and recruit members there as well, because they're really in the front line of the cuts at the moment. I think they're really feeling it, and we need to fight to defend these members, but we need to get them recruited to do that effectively.
STUC is important for PCS. It's important because it's our opportunity to work with other trade unions on the big issues that affect every single public sector worker in the UK, including the cuts that are threatening to decimate our lives and the lives of many of our members.
The basic reason is safety, health and safety, and consequently, please, yes, support it. I have no doubt you will.
My name's Janice Godrich, and I'm the President of PCS, the Public and Commercial Services Union, and this is a fringe meeting that's been organised by the Trade Union Coordinating Group in conjunction with the campaign Public Services Not
Scottish
Profit.
goods, but it's overproduced debt. Selling debt to people who could not afford to pay.
Now using the budget deficit caused by the bailout of staggering proportions, latest count, over £1 trillion of what we later find was public money, was our money, now becomes the pretext for the biggest assault on social gains won in the post-war years, on a scale even Thatcher and Blair could only dream.
Clyde, Forth, Thames, Portland, Brixham, Milford Haven, Holyhead, Liverpool or Belfast, maritime operations centres simply to close. Humber, Swansea, Falmouth, Shetland or Stornoway, and as we were told, Belfast or Liverpool to operate daylight hours only.
I'm really pleased with the way that the delegates have responded to the debates and contributed so far. We've heard Mark Swatka, our General Secretary, speak, Chris Boff, our Assistant General Secretary, Lynn Henderson, our Scottish Secretary, and a number of the delegates. What's really good for us is that we've been able to come here the week after our National Executive Committee decided to recommend to our conference that we ballot our members primarily over the issues of the attacks on pensions. And we've been going around talking to other delegates from other unions about our decision, and I have to say what's really good is it's been very well received, and we're using this opportunity to continue building the maximum solidarity with other unions around our campaign.